Are we aware of how hard it is to be a man? Yeah, are we aware of this type of difficulty? I know it's been conversations online that speaks on the difficulty being women, and even some debates, men and women speaking about how hard it is to be women or how hard it is to be men. And a lot of the male side of the conversation is going overlooked. Okay? Because people are still indoctrinated to the point that they believe, all right, root word of belief is belie. They believe that the life of a man should be turbulent, should be full of adversity. Okay? Are we aware of how hard the life is for a man? I didn't ask that to convince you that the life of a man is harder, because we all have our difficulties. But we must understand the difficulties of what a man is going through that oftentimes go overlooked, that also began in his adolescence. You see, what a man is going through, this began in his adolescence. Okay? And oftentimes, we overlook what men have been going through since their adolescence. Are we aware of how difficult it is to be a man? Okay? The difficultiness that comes with feeling like you're alienated on your own planet. See, it's a lot of people that don't want to be here, but then it's a whole gender of people that was never welcome here. The man has never felt welcomed. Okay? He has never felt welcomed. Right? And this is done on purpose, because through the indoctrinations of men and women that taught you that men were not shared the same rights as babies and ladies to express themselves, to be human, to have opinions, okay, to have feelings and emotions that are also valid, to be sensitive. We've been indoctrinated to believe this for a reason, because governing parties can't risk real men and natural born men, okay, also rising with natural abilities. That's going to make those men divine. That divine man is carrying with him his natural abilities to be sensitive, to not only be able to sense danger, but to sense all other things. That also becomes his virtues as he cultivates virtuous behavior. Your governing parties and people that want to keep you in bondage cannot risk, okay, their businesses and their constructs being endangered by the guiles of a man, by the willpower of a man. So I want us to understand why you've been indoctrinated, okay? And then also the damage of this indoctrination. The conversation isn't about. The conversation is to convince you that a man's life is harder. But it is difficult when you're not welcome into the fold of life that includes humanity. Okay? When you're not welcome into the fold. Right? When you're not able to trust. People be talking about trust issues. Men have trust issues. Okay? We have trust issues. I want us to understand that. And I'm speaking for the men that aren't as articulate as I to speak for themselves. And I'm also speaking for the men that's too young to know how to even form these sentences. Men have trust issues that started in the household. It started with their mothers. It started with their sisters. Okay, it started in the household. When he was being raised by his abuser, men were raised by their abuser. Abuse starts in the household. We all know this. Okay? And for the mind, the spirit, and the heart of a man, it started in his household. His first abuser was his mother. Okay? She helped indoctrinate him into the system, as this is the role women play into the system. Women have been indoctrinating their offspring since there was even the topic of indoctrination. What do you think all the bad food, how do you think it made it into your plate and into your body? Okay? Who do you think made sure, okay, that you was more or less going to work in school, coming back, operating in safety, not trying to challenge the status quo? Your mama made sure of that. Yeah, your daddy was there, but he was seconding your mother. Women have been used as breeders and tools to the system that is against them. Okay, now we got there a few ways. Of course, we got there a few ways. There's been a lot of turbulent journeys to get us here. There was a lot of wars. There was a lot of bondage. Okay, there were a lot of civil rights movement. Okay, there was a lot of decivilizing of people, dehumanizing and desensitizing of humans to make you operate as cattle. Okay, and a lot of those wars, a lot of the biggest weapons used in these wars was first used on the woman. So I want us to understand that. She didn't just wake up the abuser. She was also abused, and hurt people. She was first abused. Now everything that comes out of her, she's also learned to abuse the same. But these little boys don't know how to stand up for themselves. They don't have the same abilities that a woman has when she looks at her mother and sees the same thing that she sees in herself. See, women will rebel first against the women that hurt them. They will have rebelled first against their mothers. Where do you think this rebellion between mother and daughter is coming from? This is across all nationalities. There is a rebellion against mother and daughter. This is because daughter understands mommy as the abuser. I want you to understand the son doesn't have this same type of strength. He isn't born with that strength to rebel against his mother. That isn't inside of him. He first is trying to protect her. So mommy right about a lot of things. And since mommy isn't really right, she's wrong, he's confused about a lot of things. Hence, this is beginning the abuse. I want us to also take note on a few things. One, the fact that men also date their mothers. They date their mothers. Men are going outside of the household, flying off of the tree, okay, and dating their mothers. Men date their mothers. Okay, so the same type of abuse he received in the household, he go out there and receive that same type of abuse in his early relationships with girls who begin to show him that things are transactional. He has to do these things to earn her love, to earn her softness and her submitting. That's transactional. Okay, he got to buy candy and flowers every year. He better not miss a February 14th. He better not miss a birthday. He better not miss a Christmas. He better not miss any of the Catholic holidays that are against people. He better not miss none of these holidays, none of these holy days unto deities that do not support him. He better not worship these deities alongside her. She's become an important puzzle piece in the construct of bondage. Okay? She's submitted to her abuser and then have become the abuser. Men are dating their mothers. So what does this do? This begin a never-ending chain of events, of unfortunate events, that is, to where as though the abused date the abuser, give birth to more abusees. And this keeps happening and happening until someone breaks the generational curse, until someone decides to stand up for themselves. Okay? So yes, men date their mothers. Men are dating their mothers because they also find a safe place with that abuser. They are safe with that abuser. Okay? They say, my mom yelled like that. Okay? My mom ignored my emotions. Okay? My mom treated me a certain type of way. My mother was transactional. So I don't know any other way. Okay? But to be a part of the transaction, always receiving the shortest end of the stick. Okay? So I want to speak on, again, how are women trained to be abusers? Okay? Now, I spoke on this in an earlier live session. You can go view these live sessions on my YouTube. Just click the live tab. Okay? But I spoke on this, and I mentioned being raised by the abuser, being indoctrinated by a system. See, it all began when they begin to take good men out of the equation. And again, this happens in all nationalities. I want us to understand that. For some of us try to make it a black thing. We should not make what affects both genders about race. Another caste system that is abusing, again, people. That is indoctrination. This isn't about race. Although we may feel personally affected, I want you to understand the perspective of a man. Because I can't just remove, if I'm the governing parties or the nefarious energies, I can't just remove the good men from one side. Because if it's good men on the other side, what are they going to do? They're going to fight, protect, and defend the good men on the other side. They're going to fight you for the wrong you are doing. See, I want you to understand, to be a good man isn't a bias. Good men are good to everyone. Okay? Good men are good to everyone. So I want us to understand, where did this start? This started from when good men began to be removed from the equation. Okay? When they started removing good men from the equation via mental warfare, that is real. Mental warfare is real. Okay? Through spiritual warfare. You know how many good men lost their lives, lost their minds, and lost their spirits on the behalf of being a progenitor of someone's ideology? This is what war is about. War took away a lot of your good men. You know what type of man is going to sign up for war? One that wants to protect his family. One that wants to protect his countrymen. Okay? War took away a lot of good men. And this slowly but surely, it lessened the potency of good men. Okay? This took away from the gene pool. Listen, in certain places in Africa, the elephants have tusks. In Asia, they do not. And there was once, and still is, people that hunt the ivory that the tusks create. The tusks are created from ivory. Okay? And there are poachers that hunt these elephants for their ivory. Don't you know, the strongest of the elephants, the masculine elephants, grow the most and the longest tusk? Yeah, they producing the most ivory. Don't you know, as years went by, okay, now elephants produce the smallest tusk, if any at all? This is because the ivory was removed. The tusk was removed generation after generation after generation, and now the female elephants have no choice but to breed with small tusk elephants or elephants with no tusk at all. I want us to understand this is exactly what's happening, okay, in the gene pool of men. Because good men have been removed from you, okay, generation after generation after generation, now we are seeing the result of what is left. we are seeing the result of what is left. Okay? So men have to not only try harder to be good men, but also they're becoming extinct. A new man has walked on the equation. Okay? The man that is not pro himself or pro family or pro the earth, but a man that is just pro his low frequencies, his low emotions, such as lust, such as hate, such as jealousy. A man that only want to satisfy the lowest parts of himself. These are the new men. And if we don't support good men won't exist. Okay? If we don't help break these generational curses, good men will not exist, and you will not have any savior. You will not have any savior. Okay? So, I want us to know where it comes from. That's where it comes from. Removing the men from the equation. Removing good men from the equation. Okay? Now we're here looking for good men. How dare people have the conversation, okay, about how hard the life is of a man, or even the conversations about how good a man is and how good a man not, without first having the conversation about the indoctrination of people who do not allow goodness to rise from men, without having a conversation about the historical events that have led to the removal of good men from the equation. That is not a fair conversation to have. And I mean fairness with yourself. Because you will too want to love a man if you're a woman. You will want to give birth to a man if you're a woman. You still do come from a man if you're a woman. So it is not fair to you for you not to have the whole story. Okay? And because of the men we're left to deal with absent fathers. We left to deal with dormant fathers. We left to deal with stepfather energy. And I don't know if y'all speaking to these little boys. I mean the little boys that grow into men, but not too many people are too fond of their stepfathers. Okay? Why? Because it is natural for a little boy to always want his father in representations of his higher self. His father is the best representation of his higher self, even if mommy or other people do not agree with this. He always see himself in his father. And a lot of times, women date these men who just want to hump on them and do not want to give their offspring. I'm going to say it again. A lot of times women are dating men who just want to hump on them and do not want to give their offspring. Don't you know these little boys are seeing this? Telling themselves once they become conscientious of what's going on, how dare you just hump my mother? This is why it's almost cliche for them to display this in movies about families. We seen the same thing in Baby Boy with Melvin and Baby Boy. This is why that's a scene. This is why that's a popular scene, one that we've seen in real life. Why? Because what the director was trying to portray and the writers was something real that happens in the household. And the fact that there's conflict between stepfather and stepson. There is conflict. And sometimes this conflict going, the longer it goes unquestioned, unnoticed, and unspoken on, it becomes dangerous. It mostly becomes dangerous for the stepfather. But in all actuality, it is dangerous for them both. Okay? And even in the movie Baby Boy, Melvin he spoke on the idea that, Baby Boy was a man. Okay? And he's living up under his mother. But remember, the movie is called Baby Boy. He's still a baby living in the crib. He's still a baby. And why is he a baby? Because he have not developed emotional intelligence. He has not developed spiritual intelligence. Listen, if you're not expressing yourself, how are you going to develop emotional intelligence? Did you think emotional intelligence means that I'm not expressing myself? Some of you are convinced of this. Meaning y'all will accept a man as emotionally mature if he's not expressing himself. If he's a timid man, this gives birth to the absent father. And I'm speaking about the father that is absent mentally. You know how many fathers are just sitting in people's lives, allowing life to pass them by? They aren't giving them no advice. They aren't being fathers. A lot of people who had to teach themselves how to ride bike, how to talk to women, how to put on condoms. A lot of people had to teach this to themselves. A lot of men had to raise themselves even with fathers, is what I'm saying. Because just because you are present don't mean you are present. Just because they can look at you every day doesn't mean you are there present in their life. It's a different type of presence. Okay? A lot of stepfathers are dormant fathers. They are the best poster childs for that energy. A lot of stepfathers will allow you to go through your life without your father and missing this father energy and never step into being what you need. Okay? They don't have the intimate conversations with their stepsons. They don't let their stepsons know, listen, I'm not just humping your mom, but I love your mom. I love you too. Do you need anything? And no, we're not saying this is unanimously for all stepfathers, because there is a lot of good men out there. But we are saying there's a lot of step boys out there, okay, who are dealing with the dormant stepfather who just humping their mom. Okay? Men who women just allow to come into their life and satisfy their emotions, satisfy their lust, satisfy, okay, their want to not be alone. A lot of times, these men just be place fillers. Yeah, because if there's one stepfather, usually there's a few of them. Mommy never get married. Why does mommy never get married? Because mommy never do the healing and the shadow work that scared away daddy in the first place. We're not going to say daddy innocent in this, but we are going to say, okay, mommy's indoctrinated in treating daddy as she's the abuser. So this is making daddy's problems even worse. Hurt people hurt people. Mommy was supposed to do some healing. She's the nurturer. She knew something was wrong with daddy when she met daddy. She knew his mama left him to fend for himself. Okay? But divine women, they will be helping men through this process. Divine women will be nurturing people back to healing. If anybody is the master of healing, it is her. Why? Because she created bodies, so therefore she can mend them back together. She can heal them. She created them. He can teach them. They spawned from him. Okay? He is the natural teacher. She is the natural healer. Sometimes these roles can vice versa. She can also graduate to being teacher. But there's certain things mommy can't teach him. Correct? And there's certain things daddy cannot heal. Correct? So I say that to say dormant father energy is real. Okay, I want us to know that. Dormant father energy is real. The stepfather have shown time after time after time again. A lot of them will much more rather have problems and discourse with their step babies rather than love them. loving the step baby be the last on the list. He gotta first love mommy. Remember, she is demanding all the attention to her emotions. He gotta first love mommy. So first, at the beginning, he may do things to appease the other babies in the house. He may do things to please her son, her daughter. But it's transactional. He just trying to give them so he can hump on mommy in peace. He just wants y'all to be quiet at night. He just wants y'all not to bother y'all mother when he with her. Okay? I want y'all to understand how little boys is viewing their stepfathers. Because when it comes to the point that he is rising into a man, he's considering all of this. And this what makes little boy frustrated. He sit there and said, all you did was hump on my mother. You didn't help my mother heal herself. There are a lot of sick women with stepdaddies. A lot of sick women with step baby fathers, step boyfriends. A lot of sick women. I mean, they are chronically ill. They rolling over in the sheets with somebody who allowing them to be chronically ill. Listen, there's a community of people who suffer from heart problems, thyroids, kidney problems. They drinking so the livers ain't at their best. Hypertension, diabetes. Because mommy been cooking a lot of poisons and passing these generational curses off for so long. Remember on Soul Food, Grandma, your arm. Big Mama, your arm. Big Mama sat there and unalived the whole generation by teaching them to eat the same way. Big Mama. She ain't want to go to the hospital or nothing. Big Mama. How many people are being raised by Big Mama? Big Mama being raised by Big Pharma. Big Pharma being raised by big government. See where I'm going? She's a puzzle piece in this equation that's leading us to bondage. And the reason why she put health last, because scientists are creating your food and they are giving her things that satisfy the way she feel. These are happy things she eating, salts and sugars. She went off and fed them to her daughters, fed them to her sons. And they are having families. And what are they doing? Feeding the same things with their families. So who is carrying and being the host of these generational curses? I think Big Mama was. I think Big Mama was. The ones that didn't hold their babies, truly hold their babies, they boys, and tell them, son, I need you to be a man. But before you become a man, I need you to be a human. I need you to understand your feelings matter. I need you to understand your emotions matter. You are going to lead this family. You are going to lead your family. How many women push the fact that their sons got to lead their families? Or do they know subliminally, subconsciously, that he's going to meet another abuser who's going to lead the family unto its own demise? Okay? Mom has become short for momster. She's a momster. She's become a momster. She's allowed big government, big pharma. Okay? She's allowed big tech and everything else big to knock her off her pedestal of divinity. Yeah. Because they wanted to cater to the way she feel. The abuser is the hurt person that hurts people and that has been hurt. Okay? So dormant fathers is a real thing, and that leads us to absent fathers. Why do you think men leave? Men been leaving their families out of respect for themselves, out of love for themselves for a long time. I know some people want to think that men leave their families because they don't love their families. A man don't wake up and not love. He love forever. He don't have a timeline on his love. You break a woman's heart, she won't love you. She'll have a husband and not thinking about the ex. Women have clear consciences. Not the man. He will love everyone that he ever meets. That's the way he's cut. He's a lover. Why? Because he creator. Everything spawned from his loins. Every being came from the scrotum of men. So it is natural for him to love everything all the time and forever. A man got exes that he had in second grade. He loved them. A man got high school sweethearts he not with now and he got a whole wife. He loved them. He loved them. Not the woman. You think she loved her first? If that ain't her last, she don't love him. She done been disgusted with that energy. I want y'all to understand why men leave their families. I know they told you it was drugs. I know they told you he was emotionally unhinged. I know they told you all the things, but yet never gave him the microphone to tell you why he left. I'm speaking for the men that can't speak for themselves. I'm speaking for your fathers. I'm speaking for your grandfathers. I'm speaking for the men from the 50s, men from the 60s, men from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I'm speaking for men. He didn't just leave for whatever drug problem you think he had. No, he developed the drug problem, okay, for the reasons that was already there. He developed the drug problem from being the abuser, the abusee. He is an abuse victim. No, he's not a victim in life, but he's been abused. And he decided to not be your victim. And once he realized, hold up, the mother of my offspring, okay, is behaving like the abuser I was raised by. The mother of my offspring is abusing me. You know how much it takes for men to stand up for themselves? And you know why he'll walk away from the equation? Because he already realized the world doesn't see him. The world does not care. So he's learning, I got to care for me. I got to care for me. Who else is going to do so? Y'all go ahead and answer in the comments. Who else is going to care for the man? The police system don't care for the man. The governing system don't care for the man. The health system don't care for the man. Western science don't care for the man. Y'all have taught his story, and his story ain't that man's story. Okay? So it's not too many systems in the world that have not been indoctrinated to be against the man. I don't want those that call themselves colored, okay, the black people, the white people, the brown, the red. I don't want you to think that, I don't want you to take things so personal. Open your mind up. See that this has been about men for a long time, because we understand life is chess and not checkers. And yes, they've attacked the queen, but even if they take the queen, it's still a game. Even if the queen get taken off of the chessboard, there is still a game. You know what happens when the king get taken off the chessboard? Game over. Game over. So you've been indoctrinated to remove these kings from the chessboard while they babies. Remove them from the chessboard. Don't allow them to give rise to kingly energy, to masculine energy, to the sensitive that will be able to sense danger, that will be able to sense wrong, that will go to war for what is right. Don't give rise to that. Your governing parties don't want that to happen. I mean, across nations. We don't want a man like that in India. We don't want a man like that in Russia. We don't want a man like that in Europe. We don't want a man like that in Senegal. We don't want a man like that in Ghana. We don't want a man like that anywhere. South Americas, any other islands, anywhere that has been indoctrinated by colonizer energy. We don't want men that will stand up for themselves. Look at the condition of the world. This is a result of the lack of men. I want us to understand. All of you already knew that. You don't need me to tell you that. You already knew that. And if you're watching this, it's because you support men. If you're watching this, it's because you support the betterment and rise of men. Why? Because you also 23 Y chromosomes. I'm speaking to that Y chromosome in all of you. Something inside of you feel that, and you already knew that. Okay? So that's where your father's been going. Those men that been walking away from their families, that's where they've been going. They've been going to go love themselves. They've been going to go heal themselves. They've been going to go listen and talk to themselves. No one is talking. No one is listening. Listening, right? Truly listening with your senses, being sympathetic, is about you cutting off the way you feel. Turning the volume down on the way you feel. Turning the volume up on the way he feels. Turning the volume up. This is why men don't express themselves verbally when they're hurt. It takes for weeks for men to express themselves verbally. At that point, the problem then built up so much, now he has to express himself dramatically. Anger is what you may see. Resentment is what you may see. Frustration is what you may see. But understand the problem been there. He wanted you to be sensitive enough to see him. Sensitive enough to see that he's human. He was giving you invitations to humanity to have those conversations for a long time. This is why people will see men, okay, you will know he's disgruntled and see that he's not expressing himself. And the reason he won't is because he don't trust you. That's his way of saying, I do not trust you. I am not safe with you. Okay? I wouldn't be around you if I had other places and other options to be. But he do not trust you. Okay? And instead of being so emotional that he just abruptly removed himself from the equation, he giving you chances. He giving you invitations. He'll be quiet around you. He'll keep showing you via his senses that there's a problem. But once he got to tell you the problem, he gave you every chance. And he's not going to be so forgiving. He's not your Jesus. He's not your gods. He's not going to be so forgiving. Okay? He's going to return to you the energy the world has been giving to him since he was a little boy. Okay? There are some damaging effects of single mothers, being raised by single mothers. Okay? There's a lot of damages. A lot of these damages are passed on to the offspring. Single women cannot raise men to be men. We have to accept that. Okay? As we go into the mental health of men, we must first understand that where's this beginning at? A lot of this is shadow work. A lot of this began in the household with a woman who was convinced that she'll possibly be okay raising these little boys. And yes, there are a lot of successful stories of women raising men, and there are a lot of unsuccessful stories as well of people being raised in two-parent households. But we still must understand what is happening and the facts. The facts is men need their fathers. Women are even affected by the absence of fathers. Okay, her lack of testosterone is causing her to increase her estrogen. This is hormonal warfare at its best. Okay, when there's a lacking of testosterone for the feminine energy, her estrogen increases. And Shinsi is a balancer because balance gives birth to life. Shinsi is a balancer. When her estrogen increases, her testosterone increases. This is why, due to the lack of men and male energy, we are seeing a lot of masculine energy come to the surface of women. Come to the surface of women. Okay? So, this lack of malehood, this lack of father in the life of these women to raise their babies, it has a detrimental effect on her and the baby. She's now treating her baby a different type of way, which is less motherly, because her testosterone is at an all-time high. This is why she won't nurture him a certain type of way, because it's also now like a man catering to a man. And he doesn't need a man to cater to him in that way. He needs the suppling of a mother, the nurturing of a mother, the security and safety of a mother to be able to express himself. So yes, there are damages that come and arise with being single mothers. Okay? So I spoke a lot on what's happening to the man and when it started. I want to speak on what can we do, okay, as women. Someone in the chat asks, what can be done as women to help support men, damaged men, without enabling them? How can we support men without enabling them, especially when they are already healing, have yet to heal, or already damaged? How can we support these men? You can support these men by first providing a safe space. Okay? This is going to happen subliminally and must be done through subtle means. Meaning, you have to allow the man to come out of his shell. Okay? Just like when you're trying to catch a cat, you open up a can of cat food, you don't go chasing a cat, do you? You open up a can of cat food and sit it somewhere, and the cat comes. Same idea. You have to provide a safe space for men. You have to provide security for men. And you're going to provide this by not always putting the attention on your emotions. Do it less, depending on the detriment of the man's healing process, how far up the healing ladder he's went, the detriment of the results, right? Depending on how far he's gotten within himself, you're not going to be able to show too many of your negative emotions to him, because you can't fight fire with fire. That's not how it works. You throw water on fire. You don't fight fire with fire. You throw water on fire, and you don't throw gasoline there either. So there cannot be a war for the attention on the emotions. If you love this man, you must give him the microphone. He's going to take care of you. It is his natural ability to do so. He's going to love you, and he's going to see you, but he's going to be looking at you through different eyes. He's going to be like, I see that you see me. Thank you for being human. Men are always offering the invitation to humanity, but they want to know who can see him. So if you're trying to support a man, if you're trying to help a man through his healing process, but you're not trying to enable him, trust that you are safe with him expressing himself first. Meaning he's going to yell, he's going to cry, he's going to release a lot of built up tension and frustration. He's going to do that. You must accept that the love that he has for you will not be recanted. He's not going to just hurt you because he's releasing. So I want us to understand what enabling is. Enabling is keep removing the microphone from him. Keep showing him that your emotions matter more. When you ask him if he is okay, how was your day? Are you okay? You know he can sense where that is coming from. Remember, men are sensitive. It is our most abundant ability. He is sensitive. He needed his senses to sense danger. And without a man's ability to sense danger, human beings wouldn't be here today. We'd have been fall victim to some storm or some animals. Okay? So he's sensitive. You know, when you ask if he okay, are you okay, baby? How was your day? Don't you know he know where that's coming from? He know exactly if it's coming from the surface or from a deep level. Surface level just mean, are you going to be okay enough to have the conversation with me about my feelings? Are you going to be okay enough to be able to do what we need to do? Are you going to be okay this week? Or are you going to just be quiet this week going through your little phases? Are you going to be all right? Are you going to be able to get back to work as a man? He understands that this may be where it's because he heard it so many times in life. It's pattern recognition. Okay? I want us to understand what we mean by enabling hurt men. You enable a hurt man when you do not give him the microphone, when you do not allow his emotions to breathe. Some women are fogging up life with their emotions, stinking it up, and it's not to no one's avail but her immediate gain. Because look around. Look around. We have sisterhood. Where's the world? Are we more healed? We have a lot of women. Is the world more healed? Look at people. They're depressed. They're introverted. Women are lonely because women have a secret. They do not want to save other women. They are not sharing, the deepest and most profound secrets to healing with other women. Y'all are not doing this. Women know this. Y'all know not to trust each other. So I want y'all to understand that men see this. Y'all done told us we y'all spouses. A lot of women have the favorite line for women. I don't have too many girlfriends. She had women she lie around. Y'all lied to each other. But as far as healing, if women were sharing a lot of healing traditions and methods, Big Mama would have never burned her arm. Where was Big Mama girlfriends? They was all sitting at the table trying to get a plate. They didn't care about her and her health. Women not sharing how to keep their men. How to get men, maybe. How to keep the man. The wife somewhere quiet. Zip, she not. She's somewhere sipping margaritas. She not sharing with the single women's how to keep the men. Because she wants to stand on that pedestal and say that I'm queen, I'm wife, and y'all not, and I'm better. I want us to understand this. We are in the conditions we are in because of both the role the men are not playing and the role women are playing. Life is chess, not checkers. Someone captured the queen a long time ago and taught her to do things unto the demise of her own family. Women know this. But instead of standing up to each other, there was a bullying spirit within women. They bully each other. Bullying each other to accept what is popular. To accept the populace or the popular vote. Y'all ostracize each other until it gets a little too lonely on that side of the field. Until it becomes a little too uncomfortable being by ourselves. Because women aren't made to be by themselves. People come out of y'all. So y'all made to be around people. And tribes, families, clans, whatever you call it. A man can be by himself. He'll venture off a long time within his life, looking for a place to place his eggs in a safe place to give his offspring. So, we are not enabling men. We're not enabling men. By also, there's another way you enable men. Men that are trying to heal. You enable men by showing them your loyalty is to the system. Keep showing a man your loyalty is to a system. Keep showing your man your loyalty is to a job. He don't care about a job. He don't care about any of those things. He don't care about your want to provide for yourself. You've already been doing that. You provide what your emotions need. You already been providing for yourself. I'm telling you the way he view things. Ask him. He do not care. He wants you to have things, and no, he isn't a totalitarian or narcissist. He doesn't want to give you allowance, but he do want to know where your loyalty lies. Some people are more loyal to their religions, to their man. Some people might have more loyalty to the fathers they are praying to rather than the fathers in front of them. Some people are more loyal to their jobs, to their boss. Their boss is their real husband. They'll be late to their boyfriends or their husbands, but they won't be late to work. Some people have called out of their relationships a long time ago. Checked out. They won't call out of work. Yeah. That's why in certain dramatic situations, a man will endanger your job. It's only because he is jealous. Men are jealous of that loyalty. And it's not because he don't want you to have a job that you're good at and that you share loyalty with, but he see that you are loyal to everything but him. You loyal to food. You're loyal to your emotions. You loyal to this job. You loyal to religions. You loyal to these girlfriends that you don't even trust and don't like half the time. You loyal to your favorite TV shows. You loyal to your phone. You loyal to the internet. You loyal to the comfortabilities that life is providing. You are loyal to the help of your governing parties. You may be even loyal to the policing system. He see that you can be loyal to everything but him. You loyal to your hair. You don't go too many days with that not done. You loyal to your nails. You don't allow those manis and petties to pass you by. You loyal to the way you look. You loyal to the way you feel. He can go for days on your loyalties, but then you give him the crumbs of what's left of your loyalties. This is why men sometimes are convinced that a woman will cheat if he's already insecure, because he see you've been cheating on me all this time. You cheat on me with food. You cheat on me with your hair. You cheat on me with your job. You cheat on me with your nails. You cheat on me with your emotions. You've been cheating. And then still complaining. Yeah, women will naturally complain. Naturally. It don't have to be nothing wrong. Okay? It don't have to be nothing wrong. You hungry? Y'all want something to eat? He gets something to eat. I ain't really eat all that. I ain't like that. Wow. You want something to drink? Yeah, what you want? Some water? You got some juice? I tasted the water. It wasn't watery enough. And it's okay. She a queen. She can complain. She can. Not about everything. And not abuse him with complaints because she see a person that care about her complaints. But what you can't do is take the microphone off of him. You can't not only not be loyal to him, but you also don't care about the way he feels. He not even human. He not even human. Left in your hands, you are not to be trusted in his mind. This is why men pick carefully the wives that they have. Okay? This is why there's a value in getting married. Because women understand the nastiness of women. And it's like, wow, you was picked. You learned. You did the shadow work in you and was found. He loved you. He trusts you. He trusts that your loyalty lies with him first. Look at women who are married and been married for a long time. Look at their loyalty. It's to the man. He ain't gonna leave her. She ain't gonna leave him. Why? Because she've already let him know. Baby, you top dog here. Don't matter who it is. Don't matter who it is. My images of God is you. Yup. My images of my highest power is you, sir. Yup, you. You are the voice in the back of my mind telling me it finna be okay, my child. It's you. You my man. Okay? Yeah, I pray to the Father, but I got you. Your image is right there when I say Father. Okay? I want y'all to understand that is the loyalty of a woman, okay, is worth more than what you can imagine. You can't even fathom it. It's worth more than water and air. Matter of fact, he don't need that much water. He can do with loyalty. He don't need water like that. Air, he'll hold his breath. If she tell him, baby, I'ma bring you some breaths in 7 minutes, that man you finna come in, he unconscious from holding his breath. Wifey says she coming. What? If she finna tell him, listen, hold your breath. I finna love you more than anything that could possibly love you. I finna love you more than you love yourself, sir. I finna see you more than a million eyes on you. I can see you better than them. I finna give you what the world has not given you and the abundance of what you deserve. Oh, he finna wait for her forever. He gonna hold that breath till he passed out. And not because he was trying to unalive her, because he believed that she's coming with a breath of life, breathing right back in it. Oh yeah, baby, I was waiting for you. Thank you. Matter of fact, he went to his dreams and continued to wait for you. Men have a saying, the girl of his dreams. What do you think that? Why do you think men speak on the girl of his dreams? Because she ain't been in reality. It ain't been no one he met yet. The girl of his dreams. He go to sleep every day. Lil Wayne got a bar. He say, woman in my dreams, I don't sleep so I can't find her. Woman in my dreams, I don't sleep so I can't find her. He really saying, I've been awake. I'm not sleeping on y'all women. I've been awake and have not seen a woman of my dreams. Ain't that crazy? Men have to dream to go see this woman. Men have to dream to go see the woman that they deem is for them. That's what the term woman of my dreams is for. Whenever you hear that, woman of my dreams, he's speaking on a figurative character, a figment of his imagination that do not exist yet. He waits. It's why men learn patience. He waits, hoping that someday she finna walk out of his dreams. Okay? And then tell him the most beautiful words. Oh, I've been waiting for you, baby. I've been waiting for you. Okay? So if you want to learn how to not enable a man that is healing, how to support a man that you love, or men in general, start by showing him where your loyalty lies. Even if you're just a friend to a man, show him that my loyalty is to my counterpart, not to nothing else. My loyalty is to the opposite gender, not to nothing else more than that. I can have other loyalties, but remember, we taking away. You only got 100% of energy. If you loyal to 5 things, you're only giving him 20%, and he sensed that. If you loyal to 3 things, you're giving him about 33.5%, and he knows that. He looking like, oh, I can trust you, but I only give you 33%. If you loyal 50%, he can trust. We getting close. But he rather a good ratio is 80-20. Go ahead and be 80 for me. You got your father? Okay, I'll take 70. You go ahead and give your daddy 20, and then you give other things 10%. Give your higher power, give your job. You let them share that 10%. Me and your daddy earned this. Okay? Me and your daddy earned this. I want y'all to understand, until you do this, you will not get the utmost behavior from men. And we need the utmost behavior. The one that is prepared not only to live for you, but to also to not live for you. We need men to prepare to lose their lives for the things they love. Okay? Because a lot of life already been taken. A lot of life already been taken. And love requires a life. He knows this. But at a certain point in time, he feel like, well, look, ain't nobody living for me, so I'm not here to not live for someone else. The baby's not living for him. The lady's not living for him. The elder's not living for him. Okay? Nobody is living for him. The animal's gonna come and go. I think the longest life of an animal on a turtle, but outside of that, men got their dogs, their cats. They only with them for 10, 20 years at a time. He understand that. Y'all, that's why you think a dog is man's best friend. Why wouldn't they say a woman is man's best friend? They call her the bee, which is synonymous to a dog. She is the negative aspects of a canine, of a dog. They call each other bees. I ain't gonna say that we call you bees. Women call themselves bees because it identifies with the low nature of a woman. How can it be that the animal identifies with a higher nature that she can't even exemplify? The animal will be that man's best friend for real. Because who is most loyal to the man when he has that dog? Who does the dog share that loyalty with? No one. No one. That man is God to that dog. So because men don't see women capable of doing this, and they also want women, that same loyalty of a dog from women, she is termed the B. The BITCH, which is the female dog. Okay? Which is only known for its low and negative emotions. The female dog only known for, the B. The bad dog. Think of bad dog. For their negative emotions. Okay? For their undisciplined nature. Just the dog that go piss around the house. The dog that just go defecating around the house. This is the B. She defecating in our kingdom. She is defecating her emotions all within our household. She is defecating over all of us because how she feels matters more. What she's going through matters more. Okay? Consider your own self when you consider your response that you're receiving from men. If you want to support men, if you want to support the mental health of men, okay, you got to show them what you're loyal to. You got to become a safe place for their emotions, a safe place for their creativity, a safe place. Show them that the money they going out there and working for, it don't matter. He matters. Y'all matter together. And what y'all have, because you got to understand a man's value system is different. He doesn't value money. He doesn't value money. A money has another man's face on it. He don't value that. He's seeing that he got to work for it and give it to another man anyway. He don't value that. You know what men value? Family. That is the top priority of a man in his existence. Family. Family. I want y'all to understand that. This is for the men that can't speak up for themselves. Men, if you're hearing this, let them know if I have told a lie at all. Family. Family is what men value. Okay? The families they come from and the families they created. That is the highest. Okay? This is what this money system is geared behind it. It's pushing the gears because the governing parties know that men love their family. And they basically cornered them. If you want your family, if you even want them a little bit, you best get out there and work. You better work 40 hours within a week. I think it's about 124 hours in a week, something like that. You better work however many hours it is in a week. Okay? You better work 40 to 50% of this week. I want to know real quick. I want to know. You better work 40 to 50 hours in this week. Hold on, let me say. 168. You better work, okay, 4, 8, 12, 16. 4, 8, 12, 16. You better give us 25% of your life so you can have 70% of abuse and 5% of love. That's what he received. He go giving 40% of his life for some coins so you can come back and buy stuff. So he can be treated like non-human. So his emotions can go unvalidated. Okay? So he can become desensitized. Because the goal is to desensitize him to the dangers that is happening outside of his house. You got to think he's getting chemtrails sprayed on him, families. Remember, man's value is his family. But can he value his family, can he protect his family when he desensitized? How can he protect you from chemtrails if he desensitized to it? How can he protect you from mental warfare and brainwashing if he desensitized to it? He let her have the cable. Let the kids have their tablets. Let everybody have the internet and continue to be brainwashed every day. Because at the least, he gets to be treated like half of a human, 3/4 of a person. This is how men feel. I'm letting you know this coming from a man. Okay? So, we enter into a new day, in a new time. There's a portal opening up. It's a full moon. Okay? I'm going to be speaking about this on my next live. Okay? So make sure you stay tuned. Okay? There's a portal opening up. The first full moon of the summer. Okay, happening in the same month as Father's Day and happening in the same month as the summer, which is the abundance of the sun, and the sun correlates with the man. He is the only other thing besides that star called the sun. A lot of this happens for a reason, and the reason being the earth wants its men back. The earth wants its men back. So do you. These little ones want their fathers. They want father energy. So do you. Women want their fathers. Women want their husbands. They need father energy. So do you. And men always wanted father energy. They not only want to see father energy, be a part of father energy, but they want to be safe with the transition and evolution into father energy. They want to safely become the fathers they know that they can be. Okay? Nevertheless, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for hearing the cries of men. I want to thank you for supporting men. I want to thank you for the love. I want to thank you for the energy. I want to thank you in advance for the subscriptions. Please do subscribe. Yalil Laquam on all streaming platforms, but make sure you start on YouTube. If you like these long form content, if you like the way I speak, if you like intimate conversations, okay, if you like fatherly energy, okay, if you like to learn from a mentalist, okay, if you like to learn from a psychologist and people that have a psychological standpoint, if you like to learn these things, if you like to learn meditation and the meditations of fatherly energy, then make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video with someone you love. Make sure you save this, okay? Make sure you comment. Make sure you timestamp. And make sure you love those men and those boys you are around. Nevertheless, we enrich minds, bodies, and spirits. That's what I do as a son. That's how I shine. Okay? That's how I give raise. I increase your value. I increase your internal riches. That is your enrichment. We enrich minds. We enrich bodies. We enrich spirits over here. We build in tribes, starting with each mind and spirit and heart at a time. So our slogan here is, let's get rich. Shall we? Thank you.